And something a little interesting, there's kind of like instructions on the side, and fire. And it's really nice. This blaster is insanely thin. It's not a big blaster. Well guys, I obtained a brand new Nerf blaster. Pretty early review. I'm not, the first review, by far not the first review, but a early review nonetheless. And that is the Nerf Rival Challenger, the Rival Stryfe. And is it any good? Who knows? I've seen a lot of great things, and I can't wait to get this open. Let's get started with the review. Alrighty, let's get this blaster open. I usually don't look at box art anymore, but I thought it'd be nice to kind of point out the style in box art. It looks a lot more sportsy, and I really like that. Really cool. Nothing much else to say. I just really like the coloring of the box, and I think it's a really well done box design. Let's get this open. Included is the blaster, 12-round banana magazine, instructions, get those out of here, and 18 Rival Accu rounds. Alrighty guys, let's do a basic overview starting with the grip. The grip is very good, very solid, much better. It reminds me a lot of Elite grips, and it's much well designed than a standard Elite grip. It's really just a perfect grip. It's not like absolutely astounding, but like this grip is going to fit a lot of different people, and it's much better than almost every other Rival grip. We of course have our rev trigger and main trigger here. The main trigger is not very snappy, which is kind of weird until you start firing the rounds. We obviously have a safety, but it is only on the right hand side, which is kind of weird. Not necessarily needed, but it is a feature that is there. We of course have a nice magazine release, very, very well done. Loads of sling mounts and tack rails on the blaster. A lot, almost makes you think they're going to do attachment pack, especially with kind of the fake inch-strike barrel lug that's not really an inch-strike barrel lug. We of course have a sling here, and the cool feature is that there's a little carabiner thing here, which you can connect to another carabiner and hang from like a strap on your belt, or something else if you wanted to. You could also use a sling. This is a very sling-friendly blaster. And something a little interesting, there's kind of like instructions on the side, not the standard instructions you would see in like an old inch-strike blaster, but there's some types of instructions there with like battery stuff, which is kind of cool to see. Nerf used to do that, and they don't do it anymore. We have a 12-round banana mag that looks like it's AI generated. In fact, I want to address the point that this whole blaster looks AI generated, which makes me think it might have been. They may have said, hey AI, make a Rival Stryfe, and it did, and they were like, that will do. Let's convert that into a Nerf blaster, because it sure looks like it. Like, look at this thing. To operate the blaster, you want to install your batteries in the battery compartment, which I have already done. I have 8 Energizers for batteries, which is kind of weird that there's 8 AA's instead of like a 4 AA's like a standard Stryfe, and load 12 of 18 rounds into the mag. Now it's kind of weird that they gave you 18 rounds instead of 12, but hey, I'm not complaining. I think they should have done double at 24 though. And you just load some into the blaster. I'm going to load 3, throw it in, rev it up, and it has a very, very, very quick rev up time, so fast, and fire. And it's really nice. It's really fun to shoot. It has a really nice feel to it. Overall, I really like the build quality of this blaster, and it looks great. The only way to find out how great it is to take it out to the range. And another question, is this a definitive Rival Stryfe? We'll find out. Alright guys, after a night of testing this blaster out, obviously not all night, but a little bit of testing, and I'm ready to do the range test. Very, very nice. So we're getting consistent ranges, which is exactly what I'm wanting. And very, very accurate compared to other Rival rounds. I actually really haven't tested the Accu rounds to their fullest extent yet, but they are very, very accurate. Alright, I want to see if there's much motor bog down, so I'm going to rapid fire the other 6 shots. There is little to no bog down at all, which is awesome. We'll do the classic Rival rounds. I kind of want to see how accurate they are compared to the others, so let's go. Wow, that is really good. This thing is insanely accurate, especially compared to most other Rival blasters. Even with the regular rounds, it's insanely accurate. Very, very nice. I am impressed with this blaster, and the performance seems good. Let's get some exact numbers. All right, guys, we got a round here and an Accu round there, and that is at 64 feet. We kind of have a whole grouping here at 68 feet. Another little grouping at 71 feet. I believe the two farthest are at 74 feet. Strike that, the farthest is at 79 feet. So that is really, really good. Pretty much what you expect from a rival flywheel semi-auto blaster, so pretty good. Well guys, I really like the Challenger. I think it's safe to assume that this is a much needed rival blaster that we've been wanting for a while. The closest thing we had to this is the Hera, but you had problems. I think it took like C batteries. Now I think it was compatible with the rival chargeable battery, which is cool, but without that, without paying $30, it only took C batteries. It had a really kind of bigger grip because it's a mag and grip blaster. It was a good blaster, but it didn't have the compactness it didn't have a Stryfe feel, if that makes sense. This is very much a rival Stryfe. There's kind of no doubt about it. The way it's designed is similar in profile. It's even kind of similar in size, maybe a little bit taller, but this blaster is insanely thin. It's not a big blaster, and it balances really nice. The ergonomics and performance are great, and it even has a fun factor, which is amazing. This thing absolutely is a beast, and everyone's been able to mod it so far. So it is moddable, which is great. It has a really cool rival mag, and it is compatible with other ones. This blaster is really a win, and for $35 you kind of can't go wrong, but it's not really overpriced. It's not bad at all, especially compared to the Hero, which was more expensive. I guess my only two complaints are this. First off, 8AA seems like a lot, but it makes sense. I would have preferred to pay an extra $20 and get a LiPo or something. That would have been really cool. If this had a stock, would be a actual candidate for the best rival blaster. I kid you not. It's one step away from being an actual good candidate. Also, the barrel thing is kind of weird, but it's more of a weird thing that I noticed, and that a lot of people have noticed than like a con. It's not a con. It's just like, why did you put a barrel lug without a barrel attachment? We haven't got any, news of one, so I don't know if we'll get one or not. And like I said before, a stock would have been really good, but this blaster is purposely designed to be a secondary. You even have the carabiner here, which obviously makes it a secondary style blaster. I really can't find any complaints that are enough to justify it being bad, except for maybe it needs a stock attachment point. That being said, it's really good as a rival primary or rival secondary. It's well balanced. You don't really need a stock. It's so well balanced that it's like perfect. If you take a look at blasters like the Nemesis, Prometheus, and Perseus, those are all cool blasters, but they're all full auto, and they're all hopper fed. Not everyone likes full auto and hopper fed. People want magazine fed semi-auto blasters. And that's exactly what this is. This is a rival Stryfe. Not everyone wants a rapid strike or a V-twin. They want a Stryfe. And this is the perfect blaster for that. I think it's probably better than the Hera. I don't own a Hera, so I don't know. But the Challenger is really cool. Also, something interesting, and I think Double Punch pointed this out to me, is that you could look at the rival Charger and then the rival Challenger. You see, like, I mean, if you know anything about cars, you'll get it. But I can't really find a glaring flaw with this blaster, which means I'm going to have to give it a 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this thing. And if it's not on my top 10 favorite blasters of the year, by the end of this year, I will be extremely surprised. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
My junk drawer, my junk drawer. So many things I don't know what they're for, but I won't let it go. No, I will add more useless little things to my junk drawer.